Hi, it's Kuma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video in the homebody series. I love this series because it means that I get to add some fun furniture to my apartment, and this one will be kind of fun because it's going to be a thrift flip. Yesterday I went thrifting with my favorite person to thrift with, my best friend Lori, and we found these shelves just sitting around. They're meant to sit on your shelf like this, but I don't really want to use them that way just because I don't know what I would put on the shelf. So I thought it would be fun to connect them and make it into like a hook system where I can hang some hats or my keys. I don't know how sturdy this will be, but that's kind of the idea. I do like these colors, but I think I want them a little bit more vibrant so that they match the vibe of my place. I'm going to start by taking this hardware off and just cleaning it a little bit. It's a little bit dusty, and go from there. It kind of look like a digestive tract, you know what I mean? But in like a cool, funky aesthetic way. Let's remove this hardware and take off the price tags. I'm thankful to be at home currently where I can just go through all my dad's tools because I don't have this stuff at home. This should work, I think. I don't know a Philip from an Allen, but we are going to learn. On the shelf, there are these raised edges where the screws were. So I am just going to use pliers to kind of rip out whatever I can. On this one, I just grabbed some sandpaper. It was kind of abrasive, but it did get it to be a little bit more smooth. So I'm gonna try to find like a lower grit sandpaper and then make sure that these aren't raised too much because I don't want them to damage my wall. This is what it looked like before. Where the screws were, it was just really like raised, and then this is how it looks after I sanded it down. So now it won't rub against the wall or anything. Hello, it's been a while since I have been filming for this video just because there's been so much going on lately. I did just get back from a Home Depot trip with my dad, and I'm so glad I went with him because that place is very overwhelming. There's so many types of wood putties and glues that I get overwhelmed. I don't know, I get lost in the Home Depot sauce. Thankfully, it was a successful trip and I got everything that I needed, so I thought I would just share what I got. The most important thing that I got was the main color for the whole hook system. I got a sample size, which is the smallest size, 8 ounces. I figured that will be plenty. The other sizes they offered were way too much paint for what I needed, so that's a pro tip, get a sample size if you only need a little bit of paint. I think this was about $6, so definitely worth it. The color that I got was the Bear brand, and it's called Grasslands, and I went for this really like vibrant green. It was funny because another customer that was waiting in line with me was like, wow, that's a very bold choice. I guess it is bold, but I showed him my project and my whole idea, and he was like, oh, that's gonna be really cool. So thanks for the encouragement, random man at Home Depot. I hope your projects go well too. The next thing I got were just a few paint brushes. I think these were made for wood painting. They were like $1 each. Then I got some wood putty because when I put the pieces of wood together, there is a bit of a gap. I wanted to use the wood paste to really like fill in all of the crevices so it looks like one continuous piece of wood rather than two that I put together. The last thing that my dad helped me pick out were these wood joiners because we were thinking about the best way to join the two pieces of wood together. I suggested using wood glue. He thought that might work, but if you're hanging things on it, you probably want a sturdier fit. I also looked into dowels, but because the piece of wood that I have is so thin, I didn't know if it was worth all the extra effort to put in dowels. I hope that this works out well, and I will keep you posted on that. Because we are turning these shelves into a new wall hook system, name pending, I had to mark where I wanted to start drilling and where the knobs will eventually be attached to the wood. These are the knobs that I purchased. I thought that they had a good height to them so that I could easily hang my hats or my keys. It's power tool time, baby! I had my dad help me find a drill head that matched the size of the screw. I didn't know this was a thing you had to do. My dad showed me how it's done, and then I followed suit shortly after. Please ignore the messy garage. Since I still don't know what we're even doing, I'll have my dad explain.
So what I need to do is, you want this to be flat, but see how much room there is from here to here?
Yeah.
So we have to get a bigger drill so that this much goes into the wood so it's flat.
Okay.
But I have to find a drill that's that size.
So it's drill time once again, and we are making sure that the screw heads are flush with the wood. Now it's time to join the pieces of wood together, so remember those wood joiners I showed you earlier? Well, apparently I did a bad job at hammering them in, so my father promptly took over for me. The pieces were joined together, but just to reinforce it a bit more and cover in the crease, we took some wood glue and filled in all the cracks. It is sculpting day for this wall shelf hook system project. I don't know what to call it yet. I sound really congested right now. I feel like every time I go to Disneyland, I get some illness. Is it because we canceled Disney Plus? Is that why I'm being punished? I got these hooks on Amazon. They came in like a set. They look like this, they're fine. But I saw all these ideas online that had like flower shaped hooks, and I really want to do that as well. So I thought I'd have some fun shapes that I can make out of air dry clay and then stick on top. So my friend gave me an air dry kit like a few years ago, and I never used it, but today is the day. It is the Sculpt kit, and it came with 2 bags of air dry clay. It also comes with some tools, so I'm hoping that that will help. I'm thinking of doing flowers, clovers, some grass. I don't know. I have 6 hooks that I need to cover. I'm just gonna see what I can make, and I will show you the process. So let's get started. I want to just make this document so I have like a template of what I want to do. So if I know each one, I want to be roughly around 1.75 inches. Then I have this box that I should fit my shapes into. So the first one that I wanted to do was like a clover shape. I'll just take a square and then do pucker and bloat. And then you can just play around with how round you want it to be. I guess that would be kind of cute for like a clover shape. I do want this to be a little bit more rounded, and that's kind of the shape that I'm wanting, I think. Nothing's perfect, but it's worth it after fighting through 19 years. Apparently I was so locked in that I forgot I was recording a voiceover and instead just started singing Beyonce, so I will mute that for now. Basically, I just continued making the rest of the shapes for the templates of the flowers and clovers, and that's about it. So I printed out my paper of my templates, and I'm just gonna slide it under this wax paper that I have so I can just put clay directly on top of it. So now I have a template ready to go. We should be good to go. I have these knobs that I bought, but because they are domed at the top, they won't really fit with these clay pieces that I made that have a flat backside. So I'm going to need to find a way to either sand this down or cut it so that I can glue the two pieces together. My dad showed me how to use his electronic sander, and while that did get the knob a little bit more flat, it still wasn't really the shape that I wanted, so I ended up using a handsaw to cut off the dome part instead. I cut and sanded all of the knobs down, and this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looked like after. I attached my clay shapes to the knobs using wood glue and then let it sit overnight. While I was waiting for my glue to dry, I covered my wooden piece in a nice white coat of primer. Y'all, I'm trying really hard to stay positive in these trying times, but things just keep going wrong in this project, and I guess that's what happens when you just wing everything and think you can do everything by just pure passion and force. But no, it turns out there is some chemistry involved. The wood glue did not adhere to my air dry clay, which I guess makes sense considering it's not wood to wood bonding. So I think my last hope is to try some epoxy glue or super glue and see if either of those works better. In hindsight, I guess using air dry clay just did not really make sense to begin with. It's very fragile and you can't drill through it because it'll break. So I think polymer clay would have been the move. We'll just learn from this and keep going. So let's go to Michael's and grab some epoxy glue. After doing some thinking and talking to people, I realized that my flower hook idea just wasn't really going to be feasible. I really didn't want to have to worry about things breaking every time I hung something up, so I opted for a new idea where I just put the clay pieces on the wood piece itself so that there wouldn't be any stress on it when I use the hook system, and I think that it looks pretty good this way too. Hello, it's been a while. I think it's been a few weeks since I last started working on this project. This is where we're at right now. I have all the primer on, and today is going to be painting day. We're outside today, enjoying the nice vitamin D that I don't get enough of. So let's have a good painting day, and hopefully we can get a lot done today. Reached the end of this wall hook video journey, and what a journey it has been. I think in total this project took like a month to make on and off. I'm just happy that it's finally done, and what do you guys think? Let me know. I think that it turned out way better than I expected that it would. With each fail that happened, my expectations became lower and lower, but I just had to believe that it was just in the ugly phase of the whole process. We all have ugly phases. Mine was in middle school, but I turned out okay, and so did this wall hook. I think that the colors are really cute. I ended up doing a varnish on the clay pieces just so that it would help it last a little bit longer. The backside, again, is a complete disaster, but you won't see this. It's kind of fun to see where the project first started with the two different shelves that we put together, and you can't even really see the creases. So I'm really happy about that. I'd also like to give a shout out to my dad for helping me throughout this process and for helping me film. So thank you, Dad, because I don't know what I was doing most of the time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about making this, don't ask me, ask someone else. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this chaotic crafting video, and I will see you next time. Bye.